Hi friends, and welcome to your reading. This reading is going to go over why you may be feeling stuck and how you can address that feeling. I must say the messages that came up in this reading were very specific, so please, as always, take the things that resonate and leave what doesn't. Remember, tarot is a mirror of our energy in the moment in relation to the universe. Today we have three groups to pick from. We have these beautiful cats, which I feel are a strong metaphor or symbol to use when we're talking about looking into our shadows or looking into difficult feelings and understanding them. Please take all the time you need to pick a card. You can pause the video right here and meditate on your options, and I will see you in your reading. Group number one, and welcome to your reading all about something that is blocking you and what you can do to remove this obstacle or blockage. So we rolled the Astro dice and we got the second house, Aquarius, and the North Node. So this tells me that this might be a financial block, something to do with money, or that the thing that is blocking you from going after the thing is that you don't have enough money yet, which makes a lot of sense. I think that is a lot of people. And maybe you're not thinking about the situation creatively enough, or you want to do something that is quite different from the status quo, or it is quite different from what is expected of you. That is all very Aquarius energy. Yes, and the North Node has to do with like our purpose in life, the place that we're going towards. So I think that all of these things, when you put them together, make a lot of sense when talking about a blockage moving forth. It looks like you want to do something and you're being blocked either by financial constraints or you're being blocked by just it being different than what is expected of you. The North Node kind of tells us that something about this thing that you're moving towards feels like destiny. It feels like something really coming from your soul, from your higher self's purpose. So what's funny is I did a reading for myself earlier and I got these same cards, and it didn't actually feel like my reading. I was just sort of interpreting the cards as they were coming out. And okay, so over here we have like these two people that are trying to pull this guy towards this one sink, towards their own pots, right? But those pots aren't for this guy. He has his own pot to walk, but I don't think that he realizes yet that he has his own path that he can walk. And look at how his path, the one going straight forward, it's kind of like it's straightforward, but it kind of seems like it's out of left field. And neither of these people, or maybe neither of the people in your life or your social field, can see where this goes yet. I mean, the guy in the center, he can't even see where he's going yet. And so this might be a message to say that you need to be aware that you don't know everything yet. And especially if you feel like you have to have all of the cards figured out, have like a very solid plan in place before taking action. This is calling awareness to that and saying that no, you don't. You just need to take the first step that is in front of you, and you need to focus on what you want and what is right in your heart, what is coming from your heart, rather than outside influence. And for some of you, that might be all that you need to hear, because I'm feeling like your heart is telling you something very, very specific and very, like, you know what your heart is saying and you know what the outside world is saying, and they're two completely different things. And the thing is that, you know, you don't need to know the grand scheme of how something happens in order to take the first step. And the thing that may be standing in your way is probably planning and probably listening to outside advice. So you may actually be in a bit of a stalemate, or you may be, decision paralysis. May sort of feel like the stuck energy is coming from like thinking about it too much and sitting on it too much, and like not really knowing what next step to take is, and or how to get there. And so Spirit is asking me to tell you to just do the first most obvious thing that is in front of you, that is in alignment to what your heart is telling you to do, not in alignment to what other people are telling you to do. With this deprivation card over here, this talks about a lack mentality, and so this lack mentality may come from the idea that you think that there are only two ways that this could go, which makes a lot of sense actually. I want to pull some cards from the Spirit Animal Oracle, and that card wanted to come through. Yes, okay, that makes sense. Moth Spirit, surrender now. Yeah, it looks like you're kind of fighting it a lot. It looks like, honestly, with this energy, it's like this person is being pulled in so many directions, and it may be you that's pulling yourself in a lot of directions. And like, this is telling you to surrender to what your heart is telling you to do, even if you don't know what the first step is to take. If you simply make the choice right now to say, okay, I'm going to go with what my heart is saying, and I'm going to do this path, even if it may not seem sensical at this time, because I'll tell you what, like, if you can find something that you're able to continuously do over a long period of time, you will be successful with it. And I do feel like with the second house, like, finances are like part of the question. It looks like a career decision, like, that is coming through actually very strongly. Like, it reminds me of say you just got out of high school and you want to, or maybe even like you have been working in a business for a really long time, or you've been working at a job for a really long time, and you suddenly want to start something new. Okay, maybe in that situation there is a level of knowing, okay, is this a safe thing to do? Maybe don't just quit your job right off the bat, because then you might have rent to pay. But this looks like you may even be asking a lot of different people for advice on your situation, and they may not even know the right thing to tell you. They'll tell you what they would do in that situation. Like, I mean, I suppose you're here, you're watching a pick a card reading, and that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, so surrendering to what is in front of you, what you can do in front of you right now. I want you to be aware that you don't know everything, that your mind is very limited in what it can tell you, because it's based off of the things that you have already perceived and what you have seen has happened to you and has happened to the people around you. And that is like a very small amount of space. You're one human being, and there's like 7 billion of us or something like that. And you need to be aware that like there's this whole world around you when you're sitting in this like tiny space of what can be. So you don't actually have the ability to plan all of this, of like see exactly how the situation is going to go. So the thing that is keeping you stuck is over planning or trying to have everything figured out. It sort of is giving the energy that when you take the first step, then you're going to be able to see more of the picture. You're going to see more of the horizon ahead of you. And so then you'll be able to anticipate what's going to come next. So like if you're standing over here and you're like, okay, there might be a lion or a cheetah or a lake to cross in front of me if I keep on going forward here, then you're just sitting here and sort of like daydreaming about what is going to be in front of you. You're not actually going there, because like if there was a lion in front of you, then you would say, okay, maybe don't go in that direction. If there was a lake in front of you, you might say, oh, okay, maybe look for a boat or look for a way to cross the lake, or maybe go around the lake. So don't anticipate problems that you haven't seen yet. This card, the seahorse card, it says watch and wait, literally flew out of the deck. And I think it's funny because we were talking about water and lakes, and then this is a seahorse which lives in the water, but it says watch and wait, which makes a lot of sense. So watch and wait is like a very passive energy, isn't it? Whereas we're talking about taking steps forward. So maybe like if you're like stuck procrastinating, see it like flew out of the deck and it like got bent on the corner. If you're stuck procrastinating, then it may be that you are overestimating how big that first step is going to be. So Spirit is also asking you to make the first step smaller than what you thought it might be initially. if something feels insurmountable, then say, okay, instead of, I'm not going to like work on the whole thing right now, but I'll set myself in front of the computer, or I'll go outside, whatever that first step is for you, like that feels like you can do it. Like, you know, even say to yourself, if you're like stuck doom scrolling or you need to put your phone down, the first step, okay, I'm just going to put the phone down for 2 seconds and then just breathe and take that in. And, you know, your brain will say, okay, maybe you know that you're going to actually take more steps after that, but just say to yourself, okay, all you need to do for this to be a win right now is to make this first tiny step, whatever that is, towards whatever I'm going towards. And I think for you, that may actually be just like focusing on what your heart is asking from you, rather than focusing on these other people who are pulling you in different directions. Like, this could also, getting the vibe that you may not be being present with what you're doing, which makes a lot of sense if you're like stuck in a planning sort of energy. Um, you may not be being present, and spirit is also asking you to be a bit more playful about it, like especially with Aquarius here. Like, I really do think that what you are being called to do is approach the situation in a more creative and playful way. Like, how can you do the first thing, in a way that feels like more fun? Like, if you're going to put on music for it, you're going to like I'm feeling like a lot of you may be stuck, like literally in freeze mode right now, like on your phone, and you know that you need to get up and do something, but you don't really know how. And maybe you could put on a track that is like an hour long or something, uh, like a music track or a waterfall track or something like that, something that you don't have to actively engage with. Then let your mind get bored so that you can stand up and just move around, shake your body off. I'm getting like physical movement as well. Like, I'm seeing you going outside, dancing, playing, like playful energy, bringing playful energy into this, because it looks like you feel like you have to be really serious, or you feel like you need to seek information outside of yourself. That's coming through very strongly. The vibe that you need to seek, you feel like you need to seek information outside of yourself. For your tarot cards, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this card talks a lot about destiny and fate. And also the North Node talks about that concept a lot. The other thing that the wheel talks about is honoring cycles, the cycles of life. And sometimes we're on the bottom of the wheel, and sometimes we're on the top of the wheel. Sometimes life feels kind of crushing, sometimes we get down, and sometimes we feel on top of the world. And it's saying, like, especially, like, look at that little pixie over there at the bottom. These little pixies on the card that are like sort of spinning the wheel. And this also talks a lot about change and embracing the necessary cycles of change that is present in life, which is kind of a bit adverse to the topic here, because we're talking about feeling stuck. And so I think that if you're feeling stuck, it may indicate that you feel like you're on the bottom of the wheel right now. And if you do feel that, especially if you're feeling like, especially that physical movement sort of stuckness, like you might be in bed or stuck on your phone doom scrolling, or maybe stuck in a situation in life where you don't feel like you can change anything, um, to just embrace that sometimes things come to their natural cycles and they end. And I think that it's not really that you're stuck, it's that you're at the precipice of starting something new, where one chapter is really coming to an end so that new doors can open. And I'm seeing you kind of holding on to the previous chapter a little bit, or maybe you want to let go of this chapter, but you don't really know how to start. And Spirit is saying, like, you can just watch and wait. Like, things will naturally unfold. You don't need to know every step of the way that you need to take in order for this to happen, because it's a natural cycle of life. It happens anyway. Getting the vibe that if this is like a living situation or a work situation, or whatever situation is, it is actually that you really feel done with it. Like, I don't see that like you want to be holding on to this. Maybe a little bit for like safety of the usual energy, but I do feel like you are ready to move on from this. Yeah. Okay, I'm pleasantly surprised that we have the Chariot, which is all about forward movement. It is all about like taking charge. So I think that it might actually be also that something that you need right now is, sorry about that movement, is this confirmation that, you know, that this is like the end of the chapter and that you can just follow your heart and move forward without other people's intervention. And then I'm seeing that you might get this like burst of energy and this sudden knowing of what to do and just like charge forward. I noticed that I moved the desk by accident and I said sorry about that movement, which is like very interesting because like you may feel like, especially with other people in your life, like, um, how do I even say this? Like you feel like you have to apologize about it, or you feel like you may disappoint other people. That maybe like somebody might be expecting you to stay where you are, or expecting things of you. Like I'm getting, especially with Aquarius here and that other card that we got, like it looks like other people's expectations of you are really, really keeping you in a sort of stuck space. Or even your thoughts, your own thoughts, because a lot of the time we think that this has to do with other people, but it has a lot more to do with our own perception of what other people might be thinking of the situation. Because most of the time, like, people are more concerned with their own life than they are with ours or what we are even doing. um it's looking like if you were to keep following this path, and even if that does involve stillness right now and just like choosing in a silent sort of way to follow this path, that there is going to be monetary success. And I do feel like that might be something that you're concerned about when it comes to following this thing. It might be like, oh, well, this isn't like a practical solution, or this isn't what other people are doing. However, the monetary success comes from the commitment to following the one thing. So you may find that you need to pivot and stuff as you go down that road. But again, you're not going to see the lion until you see it. You're not going to know, okay, you're not going to be able to predict what it's going to be from this point. You just at this point need to follow what you intuitively know is your highest calling and your purpose and the direction that you should be moving towards. Please, please, please trust your guts above everything else. Your mind can tell you so many stories, other people can tell you so many stories, but your gut feeling, what you know in your heart, and I do feel with you that your gut is telling you something very specific and telling you, it's like very loud and clear what your gut feeling is telling you. Go with that. Please go with that. It does feel like as you start this and as you start even just like starting with making the decision within yourself, it feels like a lot of weight coming off your shoulders as you shed these like thought formed like what's the word, you shed these thoughts that are weighing you down. And so the idea that you can actually start this thing anew is the thing that gives you energy, and deciding to leave those other people's opinions or other thoughts behind is what gives you the energy. If you don't feel like you have the energy right now to move forward, this is telling us that that is something that is going to happen once you decide on what it is that you're doing. Okay. From the other tarot deck, we got Death, the Six of Swords, and the Ten of Wands, which all make perfect sense for you guys. It's all talking about death, is talking about like leaving behind the old chapter, moving forward. This movement that we're talking, this whole reading is about, is going to happen. You're going to have this movement. You're going to, especially like starting in your mind again. This cannot be iterated enough. This movement, it starts in your mind, and with the decision that you're making to change course. Okay. And I do feel like there's a lot of weight on you. Like it feels like there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, even if you feel like you may not even have that many responsibilities right now, or maybe you do have a lot of responsibilities, whatever it is, like you feel like there's a lot, like it just like feels really heavy for you guys, really heavy. And it really is coming across like all of these things that feel really heavy to you, they don't need to be the case. They're sort of like coming from this internal conflict that you're having within yourself. And once you're able to put this old stuff behind you and let it go, and clearly with every fabric of your being step into your new chapter, then you're going to be able to let go of it, and success will come. It may not come instantaneously, but I think you know that. And just commit to the feeling you have in your gut, because you know what? It sucks to have to, like, you could have all of the success in the world, but if you in your heart and your gut know that it feels wrong or out of alignment for you, you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to do everything on your power on a subconscious level to recorrect yourself to that path. And every single path has its obstacles, but if it feels like the right path for you, and if that path is in alignment to your gut feeling, then it's going to be obstacles that feel like they're worth it. Yes. Thank you guys. That is all of the messages that I have for you today. Please stay tuned, because I do feel like there are more messages that are going to come through with regards to this chapter and this journey that you're on. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Please, again, remember to center into yourself, listen to your own gut before other people. And I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I love seeing my channel grow. And if you're interested in any personal readings, then this is the email to contact me on, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, bye. Group number 2, welcome to your reading. It is so good to have you guys over here. I'm going to start with the tarot cards. For group number 1, we started with the oracle cards. For your group, I'm getting like this wonky sort of energy. Like you may not be feeling grounded. You may be feeling a bit in your head. I'm also getting like vertigo. Like if you're living like in an apartment or somewhere above the ground, that might be confirmation, or that might be a reminder like to address this feeling. If that feeling is something that's coming up for you, then don't just just become aware of it so that you can address it and sort of ground yourself a bit more. I'm getting that you guys may need to go on some walks. That might be helpful. Just taking time off to look at the birds, appreciate nature, and like ground yourself. Grounding is very important. You guys have very strong energy that is like very forward moving and like very communicative. I think that so far your guys' energy is coming through very concisely. Jupiter, the planet that we got over here, it's like the planet of expansion. It's a planet of luck, and with Aries and Jupiter together, it's like it's very strong. It's very big. It's very bullheaded. Like you guys, you seem like people that know what you want. You seem like people who are, your energy is like quite strong, headstrong. That's the word that I'm looking for. I am seeing you in like an apartment or like some sort of like bedroom that is above ground. This may be where you're at right now. Like you may be living in a city or somewhere where your lifestyle right now, you're not getting enough fresh air or nature in the way that you need. Part of your question, or the thing that you might feel stuck about, is that the people has to do with like the people in your life, or the words that you are saying to yourself repetitively. So those are both things to be aware of. It might be that in your actual life, the stuck feeling, if that's something that you resonate with, because you have like this very strong energy, this very strong forward moving energy with Aries and Jupiter here. But I feel like there's something in your heart that is painful, like maybe something somebody said to you, or some like a specific person in your life it feels like there's something in there that you're not addressing. Like again, like calling attention to these feelings that you are aware of, maybe in your head, like that wobbly feeling, or in your heart, something that hurt you, that you need to bring your awareness to. And so if you are like just powering through, or like it's like sort of like your awareness isn't in yourself or in your body. So grounding, again, grounding is really, really important for you guys. Yes, okay, that is so you. Look at this guy. He's just like pushing forth. He's just like going uphill against all of these like foxes that are in his way. And foxes in this deck symbolize fiery energy. Like you have a lot of fiery energy. You may be like also a very confident person. You may be an Aries, a Pisces, or a Cancer. Pisces and Cancer is coming through a lot less strongly. And like even if these aren't your signs, this might be a chapter that you're going through in your life where these are very prominent energies that are coming through. Okay, that makes sense. So this has to do with your circle and the people who are in your life. And there may be somebody in your life who is deceiving you, or somebody who you have this feeling is like not being upfront with you or not being honest about something. And you just, that is sort of like having you in a stuck place. Like this person may have even been in your life for a long time, and you've always gotten this sort of vibe from them, like they're being deceitful or dishonest about something. And they may not be being malicious about it, but you may just get this feeling about somebody like, hey, this person isn't, like there's something wrong about the situation. There we go. And so Spirit is asking us to really pay attention to our bodily sensations and what our body and our gut is telling us to do. It was the same sort of message for group 1. The main thing that was coming through was that you need to pay attention to what your gut and your body is telling you about the situation. And when you hear that, you may be like, okay, yeah, that's all I need from this reading, because I feel like you already know what it is, and you're trying to give the benefit of the doubt, or you're getting in your mind, or you're just maybe just flat out ignoring what your gut is telling you. Card came up. I just want to show you guys, like, look at the moss. Like, you may be dealing with somebody that's putting on a mask, or you may be in the sort of situation where you feel like you have to put on a mask in front of certain people, and that may be making it so that you're not in tune with yourself. And I don't think that you're a fake person. I think that you are like quite direct about the things that you like, about the way that you communicate with people. But you may feel like you may not be able to be completely honest about your thoughts and feelings regarding a specific subject. You may also be in this place where you have to give a lot, or you feel like because of the people in your community or your circle or even your colleagues, your work team, that there may be a lot of expectations, and you may feel like you need to like constantly be there. You may feel like you constantly have to be showing up for other people, and you are like kind of draining yourself a little bit. And the less attention that you pay to yourself and the less attention that you pay to your body, then you're not going to have that much to even give to other people after a while. And you need to also pay attention to how much you have the ability to give to yourself, because yourself is like the cup that you're pouring from. There's a reminder to drink water and like take breaks. Be aware of what you're putting in your body, because like I'm also getting a bit of an overworked feeling from you, and like you constantly feel like you have to be on, and you may not even be remembering to eat. I'm getting like Snickers bars or like lunch bars. Make sure that you are getting like sustenance in your system. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Going outside, taking walks, that vibe is coming through again quite strongly. I'm again getting a very direct energy from your group, but also like I do feel like you're quite you're not selfish. You're not a selfish person, and you want to be there for your colleagues or your family or the people that are around you, and you want to just show up and do your best every day. And that's something that I think that you, in this period of your life, are valuing very highly. Like, that you believe right now that you want to be the kind of person that follows through completely, and that has the good ideas, and that shows up for your colleagues or family or the people around you as much as possible. And again, spirit is like saying, like, your body is a vessel in which you are able to do this from. So you need to nourish and nurture your body. You need to make sure that your body is able to live up to the standards that you are setting for yourself. There's a lot of issues that feel like they're just underneath the surface, because these two cards are talking about very similar topics. Like, it's like the sort of issue where you can see it, but you're not really aware of it. Like, maybe you have an ache or a pain in your body that you have been ignoring, or you just like say, okay, yeah, that's there, but okay, whatever, I'm not really going to be completely aware of that, even though it's like kind of nudging at me in the corner as I go about my day. It's calling you to be aware of these aches and pains in your body, and like your health. Your health is super important, your physical body and your health, and being aware of that. Seeing you again in a kitchen that is like, okay, first it was a bedroom that's like kind of like high above, or like it's not on the ground floor. And then I'm seeing this kitchen that's like quite neat and tidy or polished. This might be something that you're working towards, but I do get the vibe that you're a very hardworking person, and that that finances are doing pretty okay, that you're pretty okay with your finances. But or this is something you're working towards, more so for the people who this is already your lifestyle. I'm seeing you like sort of being in the kitchen in the morning, and like having a cup of coffee or something, and like you start to get like this ache or pain, and then you're like, no, it's fine, I'll just grab a banana and keep on going about my day, um without like paying attention to yourself. You need to carve out time for yourself. And I think that that might be something that's quite difficult for you, especially if we're always in this go, go, go mindset. It can be really, really difficult to sit down and breathe and like meditate. Like, meditating even could feel like something that is, when you hear the word meditate, you could be like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing that right now. I'm not in the place where I want to meditate or be meditative. And that's okay. But I think it's still important for you to carve out time where you feel it's really for you, because there's a lot of like giving energy with this. Yeah, and if there is somebody in your life that you have this feeling about, like, oh, they're not being completely honest with me, there's something about this person that feels like they are like sabotaging even, just pay attention to that. Pay attention to your gut feelings. Yes, okay, community. We had the third house over here, but I felt like rolling it again, and we got the sixth house. That makes a lot of sense. The third house has to do with community. Community is huge. Also, like, when I think of community, another vibe that comes through is like what the community wants for us versus what we want for ourselves. And like, look at this card. All of these people are blue, are in this like bluish tones, but this child is yellow, which is like posing a stark difference to the rest of the card. Like, you may be different, but maybe that's what's offering this sort of thing. That's why you stand out and why you're able to do what you do within your group. I'm getting colleagues very strongly again, work colleagues in your community. But we need to be aware of our own differences, and like not just fold into the collective mesh of what is the people around us. And again, with the energy of like embracing your own individuality and yourself and your body is like that physical thing that sets a barrier between yourself and other people. It's a vessel in which you operate from. Okay, what else do we have from this deck? Okay, I want to pull maybe one from the Spirit Animal Oracle. Okay, that's interesting. Restriction. You got the angels. Okay, so this one, it's like a very clear, straightforward message with this card, is like the vibe that you may not be like self-limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs in general. So you may think that life is supposed to look a certain way. I think like it's really just calling attention to your limiting beliefs in general. And I really want to encourage you to get out your journal, get out a piece of paper, and write out any limiting beliefs that you think that you have. Because I feel like with you, you're very self-aware is the vibe that I get from you, and that you kind of have a good idea of what these things are already, and you have a good idea of what these things are already, but you kind of ignore them a little bit. And so if there are limiting beliefs that you have in terms of like what your life could be or what your day-to-day could look like, it's just calling awareness to this. And I don't feel like I have to spend too much time on this because I feel like you already know what they are, and that they maybe, if they're not coming up right now as I'm saying this, then they will come up as you start to write about it or journal about it, or even just sit on the question and say, you know, I'm going to be more aware of these things. It's like giving the sort of energy, like these things, like these things in your body, these things in your mind, like you are aware of them. You're just sort of like not giving them awareness. Yeah, that is the vibe that is coming through for you. Let's pull some animal cards. Okay, that makes sense. Which is interesting because I was seeing like this, because it says clear out the clutter and it's got a frog, the frog spirit. So I was actually seeing you in like a very tidy environment, and that was coming through very, very strongly. Like your environment feels quite tidy on the outside, and you like, it feels like you try to strive to make it that way, or you may even not feel like it's tidy enough on the outside, but it's sort of giving this sort of shoving things into the closet type of energy where everything looks very pristine and neat and tidy on the outside, but then you know that there's that one closet that has all of the stuff in it, is what it's giving you, and so this is the vibe that you need to go into that closet and like take everything out, and that might mean that your whole house looks like a mess for a little bit of time, and this might be literally, but also mostly I'm talking about like on a deeper level than that. Like, okay, there needs to be like time, and maybe when we talk about this time that you're carving out for yourself, time where you can just like open up your internal closet where all of that stuff is, that you know it's there, and take every item out one by one, have a look at it, think about it for a second, and you know, it might be quite ugly. It might be ugly to look at. It might be kind of scary, shadow work, and it doesn't have to be like difficult. This could be a playful thing. Like you could journal, you could color. You don't have to actually like journal or meditate, because I feel like that whole vibe of like sitting still with yourself might feel a little bit, you may feel a little bit angsty about that right now. So you might be able to find like a way to approach these things in a more playful way. Like coloring, or like even going back to the things that you used to enjoy when you were a kid. Like if you colored when you were a kid, do that, or like putting on shows or something that you used to watch when you were a kid. Really all in the spirit of looking at the things that you have been ignoring, in an effort to make your life look perfect to yourself or to the people in your community. Yeah, because yeah, ultimately you and spirit know that what is really going on, that like everything is not actually as perfect as you make it out to be, which sounds so harsh. Yes, okay, so with the lost spirit, I do get the vibe of somebody, especially with you guys, like avoiding pain avoidance. Life hurts sometimes, life stinks sometimes. That's the whole vibe with this card. And sometimes life is heavy. Sometimes like people aren't always who they say they are. Sometimes like yeah, spirit is asking us to become more aware of ways in which we may be avoiding pain, or just not wanting to look at our own personal hurts and not wanting to deal with it. That's like coming through quite strongly. I really tried to like keep this this like camera frame like tidy, but as I just started reading, like it starts to get messy, and like I think that's also a very strong message for you, that like sometimes things get messy and sometimes that's the best way to go about them. So like especially with this playful energy, like if you find your life feeling like kind of not sterile, because I don't think you're a sterile sort of person, but like kind of like too perfect. I think that part of you is actually craving this this reckless sort of behavior. Not reckless, but like this reckless abandon, creative, like messiness for the sake of messiness, because that's where life is at, and that's where like life can be messy sometimes, and that's like so enjoyable. That can be so fun. And don't try to like be this person who's like so got it all together, because nobody, like, people don't actually like genuinely like that. And that's where you attract fake people, if you're just constantly trying to be like this perfectly put together person. Because people know it's not real. People know that nobody is that perfectly put together. And yeah, you may be like even trying to convince yourself. Yeah. And I do think that that's something that your soul is actually very desperately craving, is more disorder, more messiness, more childlikeness, more creative abandon, more messiness. Yes. Spirit is also calling you to be aware of smells, be aware of your sensations, and that's how you can connect more into your body, connect more into these feelings that we were talking about that you might be ignoring in your body. I'm also getting like, if you might be getting hip pain, that might be significant to you as well, like very sharp, isolated pain in specific areas. That's things that you need to become more aware of. Spirit is asking you to like use your senses to ground into your reality, like smell. So like say like you may wake up in the morning and be like, okay, today I want to be more aware of my sense of smell. And then during that day, just like look out whenever you remember that. Remember, oh wait, I'm sort of being more aware of my sense of smell today. Smell things and actually appreciate them. And then maybe the next day you may want to be more aware of like how things feel or how things sound. But I'm getting scent being like quite important specifically to you. Also, if you read, the smell of books, the smell of books and soap coming through quite strongly, helping you ground into your body through your senses. Very important. And your guides like want me to just like deliver this message to you in such a concise way and not like waste any time rambling about anything. Everything is coming through very concisely about you, and I think that's very much your energy. Like, you seem like a very concise person. Yeah. I'm getting the smell of like perfume that just came to me for a second. So you may like be wanting to put on a certain perfume, and then like maybe like put it on your wrists and then like smell it out throughout the day. Yeah, that is the messages that are coming to you from Spirit. But also the other thing, it's Spirit wants you to know that you are doing a good job. Like, congratulations. This is not us saying that you have not been doing a good job because you've been working so hard. You have been doing amazingly, but Spirit also wants you to be happy as you do these things, and you can be happy by addressing these issues if you have not been looking at them or been putting them in the closet to work through later. You have been doing a really good job, and Spirit is very proud of you. And like, I'm getting like your spirit family, your higher self, like they're all like actually so proud of you and the work that you've been doing, and just like your ability to like get up and strive through it every day. But and like you seem like a very strong person. But yes, just take time to be more aware of yourself and come down into your body. Okay, thank you so much for watching this reading. That is all of the messages that I have for you today. Please stay well and healthy. Drink lots of water. Remember all of those things, grounding into your body. Please subscribe to my channel if you feel like doing that. And if you're interested in a personal reading with me, then here is the email that you can contact me on. Okay, bye. Group number 3, and welcome to your reading all about the blockages that might be standing in your way, things that you need to be moving through. So I'm getting a very Piscean energy from you, like very dreamy, very down to earth, very sensitive sort of person, who's like, yeah, very Neptune-y sort of vibes. And like, as I've been shuffling for you guys, the cards keep doing this thing where It feels like indecisive energy with you guys, or like feeling like you don't have control in the situation, and feeling like not powerlessness, but it does actually feel to an extent like that extreme, like other people are sort of like ushering you around. Like I'm getting this picture of this like little kid where they're in a mall with their parents and they're kind of scared of all of the things that are around them, and the parents are just sort of like ushering them, and it's like, yeah, I'm getting like a very like soft and sensitive energy with you guys. Fifth house, Pluto and Taurus. Okay. So the fifth house talks about our hobbies and the things that we do for fun and enjoyment. And I think that Spirit is really calling you to become more aware of these things. It looks like you're going through a period of change. Yes. And it's like you're watching a reading about being stuck or feeling stuck. And like the stuck feeling, I don't know, it's kind of confusing because like it's both stuck and not stuck at the same time, because Pluto also talks a lot about the energy of change and going into new chapters, but like change that's not necessarily easy. Yeah. For all of the readings so far today, we've had the same sort of theme of listening to our gut feeling, listening to our bodies. And for you, I feel like the concept of like yourself, like again, for all of the readings today, we've had the same energy of like the self, the energy of the self in relation to other people, what we want for ourselves versus what other people want for us. That's been a very prominent theme that's coming through. And again, I think that like Spirit is asking you to pay attention with the fifth house. The fifth house talks about our hobbies and the things that we do for fun. Like really like if there isn't much that you have control over in your life, and I'm getting quite a youthful energy with you, or a young energy, naive almost. I know that that word has negative connotations and I don't mean it like that. That if you don't have control over many things in your life right now, then to focus on the things that bring you enjoyment and fun and things that feel good to you. Things that feel good to you. Okay, the dragonfly. Truth transcends illusion. You may be in a very vulnerable place right now. I'm getting that quite strongly. Or you may have just like opened your heart out about something. You may have just cried, or your spirit is saying that it needs to cry. Or if yeah, or if you're not able to cry right now about whatever it is that you're going through, maybe expressing what you're feeling through an artistic medium that is coming through very strongly, actually. Like if you draw, if you paint, I'm seeing you like expressing what you're feeling through like however you feel artistically. Like it may not be like a specific situation where anybody is like victimizing you or anything like that. It's just like maybe you're in a place right now where you feel very sensitive or very aware of other people's energy, very maybe even aware of like the dark or ill things in this world. And I think that you can choose in this point right now that you're in to be aware of the ugly, gross, yucky things in this world, or be aware of like small animals and the way that the birds sound and the way that like your favorite bath scent smells, or yeah, I'm getting the concept of scent very strongly with all of the groups in this reading. But you get what I'm saying, just being more aware of the beautiful little things in everyday life. Like if you may even be at this point where you feel like you may be spiraling into a kind of dark place that maybe some place that you felt familiar with before. And so inner child work is coming through very strongly. So if you are not, even if you are like in your teenage years right now, or if you are even not that, if you're older, like your inner child is coming through so strongly. Oh my God. And your inner child feels so vulnerable and scared, and like this is a time where you have the opportunity to hold space for your inner child, to like really like give yourself that love and care and patience that you know that you need and deserve inside. I'm seeing you like having a nice hot shower and just like taking your time in the shower and just like making space for yourself, like really like having a self-care moment or day, and just like, you know, make yourself like some nice cozy food. And instead of just like sitting in the space that you've been in and like crying or like soaking up that negative energy, we need to like see ourselves and treat ourselves like the inner child that is hurting right now, and get us up out of bed, get us into the shower, get us like out on a walk, whatever you need in this moment. And getting shower very strongly because of that heat that could feel very soothing to your soul right now, like a warmth coming through very strongly. And like seeing this, like whenever I see this card, it's like, and it even looks like it's been finger painted. It's like this very precious thing within ourselves that we need to honor and take care of. And like if you're saying negative things to yourself right now, just like remember that it's that kid inside you that you're really beating up. It looks like with Pluto over here, like life's changes, because Pluto is like a necessary part of life. Pluto is all about change and transformation on a core level, like in a very deep and provocative way. But it feels like that might be something, like if there's change that's happening in your life right now, then it may be difficult for you to deal with. Did you even see how the way that this card came out was like gentle? It was gentle. Like this could be possibly even a breakup, or like a situation where there was like something, people, place, or something like that that you really loved, that really had like a beautiful space in your heart, something that really like treasured you and kept you safe, a place for your inner child that made your inner child feel safe, and that made your inner child feel held, and gave your inner child a place for it to flourish and grow. And it may be that something about this might be coming to an end. And even as I say this, I feel like crying. And that's something that you need to honor and like be, you can find a new place for this energy to come through, for your inner child to feel safe right now. You could like if you colored as a kid, if you drew, if you sang, like just like creatively expressing yourself. And so also to be aware not to like fall into vices like alcohol, that sort of thing, and really like approach this in a healthy way. Give this part of yourself that's hurting and wounded something that feels wholesome, like this card, this Ten of Cups, feels wholesome, like this thing that may have happened, like the space that you may have had for your inner child. Like if you can recreate that for yourself, a place for yourself that cannot be taken away if this chapter may be coming to an end. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that, I feel that hurt for you so much. And even like the cards are coming out quite gently. Give things time. Give things time, especially if things hurt a lot right now. Give things time. Give yourself time. Give yourself patience. Be gentle with yourself right now. And before you know it, there's going to be inspiration that comes in. There's going to be this light that shines through you again. And wow, okay. So it's like I'm seeing you doing this for yourself and nurturing yourself and providing yourself with that safe place and that creative expression, and giving yourself this like really reparenting is a concept that's coming through, but really like treating yourself with that level of kindness. And as you do, as this part of yourself begins to feel safe, then this like creative expression, you start to have this more of this joy for life again, and everything starts to look vibrant and expressive again. And again, by focusing and again realigning your focus from the negative stuff onto the positive stuff, and focusing on the little details in this world that make it beautiful, the clouds and trees and your pets, or how a hot shower feels, then you can like you can turn your wheel into this place where you feel like so vibrant and so anew and so full of life again. And yeah, and they're calling attention for us to be aware of how you're spending your finances in this time. So like if you be aware of like online shopping or like buying comfort food, because it may be something that you might come to regret a bit later if you okay yeah, just be aware of like how you're spending your money right now, and like if you're comfort spending money, that's something to be aware of. Okay, so this card talks about like going deep into yourself. So like water in tarot talks about our emotions and our feelings, and you see like this mermaid, she's like swimming deeper into the depths, and I think that that's something that you want to do right now. I think that you really want to like swim deep into yourself and disappear into this like little cloud of darkness inside yourself, or it doesn't have to be dark, but really like retreating into yourself. And Spirit's not saying that that's a bad idea, but also like to be careful not to get stuck in this place. Like if you need rest, rest. If you need to take a nap or sleep, do that. There's a helicopter, that might be a significant sign. But also like I think that's particularly talking about transit and travel and change, because like this card also talks about moving, leaving something behind. Oh, that's so strong, especially when we talked about that thing in your life that feels like it's coming to an end. Like maybe there was something that really felt like soul family, and it doesn't mean that like that place or that time can still exist. It doesn't, even if it's not like going to be with you for the rest of your life. Like if you had like a relationship with somebody or with a group of people who you where you felt so loved and taken care of and held, it doesn't mean that if something has to come to an end that it's over forever, because you will always still have that space in your heart for yourself. Even be a loved one that's maybe paused, because I do feel like this energy that we're moving away from, or this old chapter that's closing, or it felt so like full of love, and like these people or this person even, they have no ill intent towards you. There's absolutely no ill intent. There's nothing like that at all. Like it's just like so sweet and it's so full of love. So it could even be like somebody that you love that may have passed on. Yeah. Or maybe a part of yourself that you feel it's time to, yeah, and like as we move on from different chapters of our lives with people, places and things, like there is a part of yourself that needs to die with this old chapter, and that may be so difficult for us to let go of. Spirit is asking you to be brave. Spirit is reminding you that you are so resilient and you are so capable, and that you can get through this. Even if it feels like that's not the case right now, even if it feels like insurmountable, or like the weight of it all is pushing you down and crushing you, even if you feel like you can't get up, or like the only like resolve is to retreat within yourself, Spirit is telling you that you are going to get through this. And when you do, you are going to be this bright, shining light, because especially if we take care of our inner child right now, if we like nurture this part of ourselves, if we like create that space within ourselves that we can like glow from and shine from. And I know that it might feel kind of like corny right now, or difficult, especially if you're in a lot of pain, but you are such a bright, shining soul, and I see so much innocence in you, and so much like what's the word, valor, so much like perseverance and strength in you. And yeah, you're going to just continue, and you're going to be this bright light for other people. Yeah. Even if it doesn't feel like it right now, because I do feel like that may be the case. It does like hurt a lot when we see this card, the Ten of Cups, when talking about something that's leaving. Do you feel like something that your soul is craving right now is just silence? Like, it does feel like you just need somebody to sit with you in silence and just to see you and to be heard by someone. And if you can call up a friend to do that, that's great. But if not, that's okay too. And maybe like put on a video or something, put on some music, journal, so that you feel like you're spending time with yourself. It is giving a lot of like breakup energy, but like the kind of breakup where it's not, I don't even think I should call it a breakup, because it feels like just a very natural parting. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really hurt for you and what you're experiencing right now. Okay, group number 3. Um, and as a final message, I just want you to know that these people, this place, this situation, like there's still so much love there. You are so loved by your spirit family, by your higher self, by even the higher selves of these people that are involved. There is still so much love. You are so loved. You are so seen and taken care of in spirit so much. And like, I'm literally seeing your spirit family surrounding you right now and holding you and like surrounding you with all this love. And if you open yourself up in this moment, you will feel that and see how loved you are. Yes, thank you so much for watching this reading. That is all that I have for you today. Please stay well, stay healthy. I want you to look outside and look at the beautiful things that are in this world. Please journal if you can, whatever that you can do to uplift yourself in this moment. Hot shower. Thank you so much for watching this reading. If you want a personal reading with me, you can email me on this email address right here. Please subscribe to my channel. I love seeing this channel grow. I would love to see more of you here. And also, if there are more messages that want to come through from Spirit, then you can see more of those in videos that I may post in the future, or videos that are already on my channel. Thank you so much again for watching. Thank you so much. Sending so much love to you, your higher self, and your spirit family, and perseverance and strength for whatever you're experiencing right now. And I will see you soon in another reading. Bye. I really do appreciate your support of my channel. Thank you so much.